You hear the term full stack developer pretty much everywhere, right? But what does that actually mean? Well, today we're going to break down one of the most in demand and maybe one of the most misunderstood roles in the entire tech world. I mean, just think about it for a second. That social media app you were scrolling through this morning, or the website you used to order lunch, who actually builds all that stuff? A lot of the time, the answer is a very specific kind of developer. Okay, so the first thing to really get is that our digital world is, well, it's built. It doesn't just magically appear out of thin air. You can think of it like a city. It's got its own architects, its own engineers, and its own construction crews. You know that feeling when an app just works? That completely effortless experience? Yeah, that's the result of countless hours of design and logic and some really intense problem solving. Every single button, every feature, it's all there for a very specific reason. So who are these key players, these digital builders? Well, often it's a single person wearing two really important hats, and that is the full stack developer. Okay, so to put it simply, a full stack developer is this kind of versatile expert who can build both the front end, the part you see and click on, and the back end, which is like the engine that makes the whole thing run. And honestly, this is the perfect way to think about it. Imagine you're building a house, right? You need an architect to handle the design, the blueprints, the overall vision. But you also need a general contractor to take care of the plumbing, the electricity, the foundation, all that critical stuff behind the walls. A full stack developer? They're both. So to really wrap our heads around this, we need to understand the two halves of their job. Let's really break down the difference between the front end and the back end. Let's stick with that building analogy. The front end, that's the facade. It's everything you see and touch, the paint color, the doorknobs, the layout of the rooms. The back end, though, that's the foundation, the plumbing, the electrical wiring. It's the server, the database, all the hidden machinery that makes that beautiful house actually livable. So, how do they actually build all this stuff? Well, they use a specific combination of technologies, which is usually just called a stack. Let's take a look at a super popular example called the MERN stack. Just think of it like a toolkit, where all the tools are designed to work perfectly together. You've got M for MongoDB, that's the database where all the information lives. E and N are for Express and Node.js. They team up to run the backend, handling all the server stuff. And the R, that's for React, which is used to build that slick, interactive front end that you actually use. Altogether, they give you a complete package to build a modern app. Now, beyond just the stack, there's another tool that's absolutely essential. It's called Git. Here's a way to think about it. Imagine you're writing a huge report, and you could save every single change you ever made and go back to any previous version instantly. That's exactly what Git does, but for code. It's the system that lets developers track all the changes, work together without messing things up, and yeah, even hit rewind if something breaks. It's like the ultimate safety net. Okay, so being able to do all of this, from the big picture architecture down to the nitty-gritty construction, that makes full-stack developers incredibly valuable. But, how valuable are we really talking? Let's take a peek at the job market. So get this, in just the last 30 days, on just one major job site in India, there were over 10,000 job listings for full-stack developers. 10,000. That number pretty much speaks for itself, right? The demand is absolutely massive. And of course, that kind of high demand translates directly into some serious earning potential. The career path shows really clear growth. You can start out as a fresher and see a huge jump in salary after just a few years of experience. It's one of those fields that really, really rewards you for learning and building up your expertise. But beyond all the coding languages, all the frameworks, all the fancy tools, there's one skill that really, truly defines what makes a great developer. Because it's not really about memorizing lines of code or mastering every single tool out there. I mean, that stuff changes all the time. So what's the one thing that stays constant? What's the real superpower that every great developer has? It's problem solving, plain and simple. At its core, all of this technology is just a box of tools designed to solve human problems. So a great developer is, first and foremost, a great problem solver. They're the ones who can look at a really complex challenge, break it down into smaller pieces, and then figure out how to use technology to build the solution. The code? That's just the final step. So really, the question isn't just what can you build? It's what problems do you want to solve? Whether that's connecting people or making a complicated task super simple, or maybe even creating something totally new that the world has never seen before, it all starts with a problem. So I'll leave you with this. What problem will you solve first?